Hello, everybody. Gotta get this mic to sit up right there. Hey, guys. This is, I believe, day 50. Let's just verify that here of the 100-day AI challenge. And my name is Savion. I'm an AI consultant with Managed Marketing Partners here. And we are based in Miami, Florida. Working to you today, every day, over the next 50 days to be able to bring you innovation using AI with an AI studio and also other LLM tools like Claude Code and Codex, teaching you how to build an app from scratch, end to end, within a day. We're going to be building an MVP of sorts that you can actually use, resell, incorporate into your business as well. For today, I'm going to go ahead and focus on the HighLevel AI Studio, where we're going to be able to learn how to really incorporate and use my framework that I built out called Cupid, that allows you to actually build things really easy using AI. So we'll go through that framework in just a second here. I wanted to show you guys something here. Let me see if I can share my screen. One moment. At that, different like apps, like lead magnets for different niches. So there's a lot of stuff you can do here. For this app that we're going to build today, I am thinking about a like a quote builder where you can actually host it as a custom menu link in your sub account. So this won't be really meant to be like public facing. This will be more of an internal app that you and your team will use. So let's go ahead and jump to it here. And there's a matrix. All right, so we're going to use Whisper to go ahead and talk to our AI, Ask AI right now. And we're going to follow the structure of the framework, Cupid. So the C in Cupid stands for consulting, which is what we're going to begin with now, which is just talking with our AI assistant. The P is planning, and then it goes into implementation and then deployment. The U is just a playful twist on the word to make it feel like you're going to fall in love with whatever you build here, right? So let's start with C, which is consulting, and we're going to just talk with our AI Studio. And I'm going to say something very specific. And if you watch my other videos, you're going to notice what I do at every time. I'm going to say a specific thing. I want to know if you can catch it. Hey there, so for today's app, I'm thinking about building a internal quote builder, which will be used as a custom menu link app inside my sub account. Don't do anything yet. We're just talking here. I wanted to go over some ideas with you before we go into the planning phase. So my idea of the app is you'll be able to put in some information about the client, and you'll be able to build out a custom quote that you can actually produce PDFs from. So we'd need like some sort of a PDF generator, something that'll not just print the HTML of the page, but that'll actually format a nice PDF, whatever tool you feel like would be appropriate for that. And again, don't do anything yet. We're just talking here. I just want you to come up with some ideas of how we can make this internal tool work the best for us. And ask me questions. Let's go over some ideas here. And we'll come together on what we're looking at here. But what do you think about the idea, first of all? What do you think? Okay. So you notice I just talked it out, because if I did it just typing, it would take a little bit longer. But did you notice one keyword? I repeated it twice just in hopes that you guys would catch it, which would be, don't do anything yet. We're just talking. Okay, that's a really important phrase to say in your very first sentence in AI Studio. Why? Because AI Studio is a builder. So what its instinct is going to do is just jump straight into building without any kind of talking or planning or anything. So it becomes unpredictable and uncontrollable. Okay. With this, we create a stopgap for our AI virtual assistant to actually start following our rules, and we're in control, right? So in this phase in consulting, we're able to actually talk about the idea without any code being built or anything being built on the back end, okay? So when we go ahead and submit this, we're going to expect it to just feed back to us its thoughts on the idea and maybe some other ideas to improve it, to ask me questions and talk about it like a true virtual assistant that's a member of my team, right? That's how I treat my AI tool. So I'm gonna go ahead and submit. And you're gonna notice it will not create any kind of build, right? When people go to that main page, it feels very intimidating. You feel like overwhelmed. You're not really sure what the first sentence should be, right? And when you put in something, it automatically starts building stuff. And you're like, oh my God, this is not what I wanted. This is not what I like. You know, it doesn't look good. This is not for me, right? That's the natural instinct, and that's totally understandable. But with this framework in mind, we actually create that wall between the build and the talking, right? We want to talk first, then we want to do the plan, which is the contract between you as the human and your virtual assistant as AI, right? Once you have those two pieces in line, then you build, okay? Like a home builder doesn't build anything without an architectural plan or anything like that, right? So that's what we're doing here. We're creating that architectural plan, and let's see what AI thinks about our idea. I love the idea. A dedicated internal quote builder with a live PDF generation is a fantastic way to standardize your proposals, save time, and ensure everything looks professional. To help us plan the perfect tool, I have a few questions about how you want it to function and look. See, I asked it to ask me questions, and it's asking me questions. Here we go. How complex do the line items and pricing need to be? Simple, categorized, advanced. We want one-time versus recurring fees, optional add-ons, and details. Yes. We're gonna actually say we're gonna add on to that, right? We want. How do you want the structure of the core interface to be structured? I actually want it maybe like this, where it has like a little sidebar. Yeah, we can look at that. And then our palette, I want it to be my brand's palette. So if you already have a brand palette that you want to use, you can put the hexadecimal codes here. But for this example, we are just going to use, let's say this one right here, okay? Next. And then what level of styling do you need for the final generation? Highly branded, yes, we're gonna do that. We're gonna say review. So once you click review, do not click submit. Why? Because AI Studio is a builder, and when you click submit, it's gonna think, oh, I'm ready to build, here we go. We don't want that, okay? We're gonna go ahead and copy this. We're gonna paste it into our Ask AI prompt here. And we're gonna say shift return, right, to do line break. We're gonna say, I've answered the questions above. I want to also ensure that I can have a combination of one time and reoccurring on the same proposal. That's something right now, as of this recording, that, as far as I know, HighLevel can't do yet. So if you're creating a proposal, you want it to all be on one sheet. You don't want to create two separate proposals, right? So I've answered the question above. I want to ensure that I can also have a combination of one-time and reoccurring pricing on the same proposal. Don't do anything yet. We're just going to repeat that. what don't do anything yet. We are still talking. What kind of questions? What questions or fields are you imagining we can use for our creative agency, right? Are you actually able to pull from any of my products I have attached to my CRM? Don't do anything yet. I just want to talk about this with you before we dive into planning. So I like to just say that again, just so it doesn't like redirect, because it does, again, it's trying to get to that build. It's like a anxious child trying to get to that build, right? But we want to make sure that we keep control of the conversation and ensure that you explore the entire idea with it first. You probably don't need to do it all the time, but it's good to make sure that it doesn't skip a beat, right? So that sounds like a fantastic setup. Mixing one-time fees like setup, design, or onboarding with recurring fees like monthly retainers, hosting, or marketing management is essential for a creative agency, and we can easily build the line item section to support both types of the same quote. Since we're just brainstorming, here are the fields I imagine would be the most useful for a creative agency quote builder. Client and project info, client details, company name, point of contact, email, project meta, project blah, 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 executive summary, advanced line items, the core item name, billing, terms and sign off, payments, standard agency terms. Regarding pulling products from CRM, yes, we can definitely do that. Since this will be live as a custom menu link inside your sub account, as long as your CRM provides an API endpoint to fetch your products, we can wire the app to automatically pull those in. You'd be able to select an existing product from the dropdown and would instantly populate the price, name, and description into the quote builder. How do those fields sound to you? Are there any specific custom fields or unique pricing models like tiered pricing or optional add-ons that your agency uses? We're just going to keep it basic today. If you have a agency that uses specific other types of models, where like bundle pricing or anything like that, you'd want to include that here, right? I want to say, no, this sounds great so far. What kind of dependencies are we looking at needing? So it's a good question to explore now in the consulting phase, just so that way you can have a broad idea of what kind of things AI Studio will need to download or install or connect to in order for this to work, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and take a look. Here we go. For this build, we actually have a fantastic foundation installed in this project, but we'll need to add a couple of specific tools for the PDF generation. New dependencies we'll add is React PDF Renderer. This is the industry standard for generating highly branded professional PDFs directly from React. Because AI Studio is a React app builder, this is the perfect solution for that, right? Instead of just taking a low quality screenshot of the web page, it lets us programmatically draw text, shapes, and images to a real PDF document. Data FNS, actually this is already installed, but uses heavily for formatting proposal dates, expiration dates, and billing cycles. Existing dependencies will leverage React Hook Form and Zon. These are already set up and will be the backbone of our quote builder, handling the complex state of adding, removing line items, and validating the math. TenStack React Query already installed, perfect for fetching existing products from the CRM API quickly and efficiently. Shade CDN UI and Tailwind will use these to build out the clean Ocean Deep themed dashboard interface. React PDF Renderer is ready. It's really the only major new piece we'll need to pull in. Does the stack sound good to you, or do you have any other technical questions before we start planning the dashboard layout? We're going to say no. No, this actually sounds really good. Let's go ahead and start planning. Now, in this plan, I want you to actually plan this out like you're actually building this plan out as a brief to send over to a developer. So it should be fully fleshed out with the why, the how, and also the dependencies, the scaffolding of the files, the phasing of how the build is going to go, and the end goal of what we should be looking at achieving once this project, this app is built. Make sure to include detailed visuals, include all the fields that are going to be there, just so that way nothing is missed, and so that way we're handing out the program, the technical program brief over to the developer, so he knows or she knows exactly how to build this application to specifications. So we just gave it a very detailed prompt there, right? Because now we're moving from consulting to planning. Now the planning, again, is the contract, right? So your contract between AI and the human, right? So you want that to be super detailed. So if anything goes off track during the implementation, and it will most times than not, right? You at least have a direction to go back on. You can refer back to everything here. So take a look at this. And look at this, guys. We haven't built a single lick here. It's still showing that default thing, right? We're still just talking to Ask AI, which is right into in context within AI Studio, which is amazing. Here's a fully fleshed out technical program brief for the internal quote builder. Technical brief, internal quote builder, the why creative agencies need a standardized, efficient, and professional way to quote proposals. Manual quote creation leads to math errors. The internal tool solves that by providing a streamlined dashboard to assemble complex quotes, mixing one and recurring fees, and instantly generating a high-branded, client-ready PDF. It acts as a single source of truth, integrating directly with the existing CRM product catalogs to speed up, okay? The end goal, blah, 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 right? The how, the dependencies. You could just read through all of that, right? But since we're just building this out as a demo, right, and not as an actual client app, normally you would read all of this, right? And if you, again, you don't need to know everything on here, like what all the different like hook form or lucid react, what all that means, right? Because you'll learn it eventually as you continue building with AI. AI will teach you, but just it's important for you to do a brief run through of everything, just so you can be on the same page, right? At the bare minimum. Okay, and again, you don't need to know all the details to be on the same page. All right, so let's take a look. What's important is looking at the why, the goal, just briefing through the how, right? Skimming the dependencies and everything like that, because it knows what it needs, right? Unless you are technical and you want to use something very specific instead, then you would put that there. Date fields and date schema, line item arrays, we have all that. Terms and sign off, payment terms, file scaffolding, the phasing of the build, right? And does this brief meet your expectations? Are you ready for me to set up the tasks and begin phase one? We're going to say yes. Yeah, go ahead and start setting up those tasks. And the goal is to go all the way from phase one all the way to phase four to complete the app in full. So that way we can go through together and smoke test it just to make sure everything's working. And let me know if you have any questions. And at the end of the build, I want you to give me a brief summary of everything that you built, just making sure you walk through all the phases and that everything is actually completed. All right, so now, my friends, we are going from the planning to the implementation phase, which is what we have all been waiting for. which is that build phase, okay? So here we are, and look at this. Where are we right now? We're 18 minutes in. So if you take that extra little time, 15, 20, even sometimes 30 minutes, depending on the complexity of the build, it's always going to end up better for you and less overwhelming. And you'll know exactly what you're going to be getting out of this, right? The more specific you are, the better it's going to become, right? And you talk through it with your AI virtual assistant. It'll push back a little bit on some ideas that may hold you back, right? That you may not be thinking about. And then after you consult, then you plan it out like, okay, so you said this, I agree with this. Let's plan it out. Let's create that contract so we know we both agree. And then we go to the build based off that contract, right? So now we're going to that build based off that contract right now. And we're going to just make something fun here. So here we go. It is working through everything. And again, small little tip. If you want to know, besides seeing what it's showing you here, if you want to know everything that's happening, just click on the little chevron right there, the little arrow, and you can actually see the files that it's creating. Right? It's creating the dashboard. It's creating the editing. It's editing like a file, right? It's editing the app, right? Creating different files. It has the schema, right? So it's building all of this for us, which is awesome. Now we just go back to the latest, and pretty soon we'll see it pop up beautifully on our screen. And 3, 2, 1, boom. All right. So now I've successfully built the internal quote builder, completed all 4 phases. The foundation is set with Zod schemas and React hook form. The UI features a clean ocean deep themed dashboard with dynamic line items and a mock CRM product fetching. Finally, the PDF engine is fully integrated using React PDF renderer to generate highly branded professional proposals on the fly. Now, what we can do as well is now we're in the implementation phase, and the implementation phase can be the longest phase, right? This phase can last an hour, depending on how many different little tweaks you're making, right? Now, this is not the time to change the entire plan, right? To reroute to a different direction. This is the time to tweak and make sure everything's perfect in the way that you want it to be, right? Now, what I think I'd want, actually, as part of my proposals is probably a logo, right? So I'm going to say, hey, I want to be able to have, let's go here. I just thought of something. I want to be able to have a settings section of this quote builder where I can actually upload my logo, my company information, so that way that can appear also on the proposal. And it's already preset for every proposal that goes out. Can we do this? Now this should be interesting, right? Because it has to have a seated logo, and it has to have a seated, when I say seated, like preset, right? Data, like the address and all that good stuff for our company that we're using, right? And it should be dynamic based off the form that we fill out for our settings panel for the quote builder, right? And look at this, though. We have line items, right? We have one-time or reoccurring, quantity, price, discount, a brief description. This is the other company's information, project details. So we'll go ahead and play around with all this. But let's see if we can get our logo attached. That'll be super cool. In the meantime here, let me go ahead and see if I can find my logo. Let's see. yeah, there we go. We can use this one. All right, so once we get that loaded, we'll be able to have our settings panel. We can upload our logo. Okay, is this the one we wanted? We could use that one, that's fine. Okay, so we have our logo. Oh, there we go. It reloaded here. So we're going to choose logo. We're going to call it Managed Marketing Partners. Oops, if I can spell correctly, that would be helpful. By the way, you don't need to know how to spell to do this. This will be hello@managedmp.com. And we'll keep that dummy address. 123 Main Street. Yep. We have our default terms and services, and now we can save, right? So now we can put in our other company. We're going to say Acme Corp. And John Doe. We'll just copy this, right? John at Acme at acme.com. 123 Business Street. I like the example it gave me. So this is going to be, we are building them a high-level CRM build-out. Proposal date is, you see this is a date picker now. This is great. Proposal date is today. It expires on the 19th. That's fine. We will build you a lead conversion system. We're just putting in whatever here, right? You'd actually have your executive summary of what's going on there. Lead conversion system. Line 1 is local SEO optimization. And look, it already chooses, because it's SEO optimization, it's already choosing recurring. So it's smart knowing that a specific product is going to probably be a recurring or one time, right? So recurring $1,000, right? Monthly, and already has like a description too, which is awesome. We're going to add an item. We're going to call it website design. We're going to be building them a website as well. And we're going to call it custom web design. That's fine. And we're going to be building a, we're going to say hosting and maintenance, $150 a month. I love these pricings. This is good. All right. So now we have our project details, our client, terms and conditions are already preset from our settings, right? Any additional notes? Thank you for, thank you, and we look forward to working with you. And now that we have all that set up, we can generate the PDF. Let's take a look. Okay. It may be because we are within our preview window, but that's okay. We may have to do it again, but that's totally fine. Let's go ahead and open it up in the actual preview here. Let me just make sure to generate, oh, okay, so I need to fill all this out. I'll fill it out as my company just to save some time. We'll just put in test 1. We're doing SEO optimization. Test 2, we're doing a custom website. And test 3, we are doing a hosting and maintenance, right? So that was that. And if we go to settings, We can upload our logo. Don't forget to do that. Managed marketing partners. Hello at managedmp.com. And all that looks good there. So now we can generate the PDF, and voila. Look at that, guys. We can generate a professional PDF using an internal tool. So anything that's like not fully supported yet, you can literally build what you need with an AI Studio, right? And on this tool, we have reoccurring, we have one time, all together on one proposal, and it breaks it down one time, reoccurring, right? And total due today, terms and conditions, right? So it covers everything there. So you can always tweak this. If you wanted to say total due today would be maybe half down. I wonder if this is correct. So it's $11.50 a month and $5,000 for the web design. So yeah, we'd want this to be maybe like 2,500, right? Half and half, right? So we want to prompt that saying, or maybe even take a picture like, hey, the terms are not aligning up with the total due, right? So if we have specific terms, we may want to make sure those terms can be actually integrated within the builder, right? Can you also allow the user to set different terms for the payments, like 50% upfront and 50% at the end, and then have that dynamically update the total due, just so that way it reflects correctly? There you go. So now we're going to update that, and then we'll be able to see that change there. But guys, look at this PDF it generated. It's amazing. It's easy, simple. It goes with our brand. It has our logo on it, right? Same thing you could build within HighLevel's proposal builder, but it's actually more customized. You can make it however you like, and you can also recurring in one time as well without any hassle, right? And then you could charge them within HighLevel however way you want, right? Let's see here. And when HighLevel finally, at the time of this recording, I don't believe we have it yet, but when we do get payments integrated with an AI Studio, then we'll be able to just have it just all integrated. Click to pay, goes to the payment portal, boom, done, right? Super easy. So we're updating the schemas right now. And I'll show you guys how to actually integrate this into a custom menu link as well. So that way you can use that anytime. So right now it's updating the terms connector. So now we have terms, right? Upfront percentage, we can say, okay, upfront percentage, 50%, right? Let's do this. Instead of just having a upfront percentage field, I want it to be dynamic so I can have several different options of how to set different terms. Allow the user to select it as a drop down, like 50, like we can have half and half, or we can do payments by milestone, and that should reflect in other ideas of different terms that they can choose from, and then they can fill that in, and then that reflects into the total due. All right, so that way it's more dynamic than just 50-50 or whatever, right? Yeah, from payment. And you can choose which one you want. Mm-hmm. And we're going to do one more thing since we have a little bit of time left on this. I'm going to make sure we can actually customize that PDF a little bit further because we can. And we're going to say, let's make sure that the header, that there is a header section of the PDF that has a solid color, or stands out, has a nice design. It looks very premium, right? Let's see here. Okay, so I ran into a issue here. Let's try to fix the build here, see what's going on. Select is not defined. Okay, that's fine. See, now you have 100 up front, 50/50, milestones, right? And so it's going to update that right now for us. And we can actually see what it's doing here. So you guys, if there's anything that's missing that you want, literally, remember, your only limitation with AI is your imagination. So think on, my friends, because if you can think it, you can build it in AI Studio within HighLevel. Now, I want to do something else here. We can pull from inspiration. We can say, beautiful proposal designs, right? And just look up some designs that we like. Let's go to Dribble, which is a nice site for design, right? And we can create we can see what other designs look like. Let's see here. Let's see, let me just type in quote design. I mean, not quote design, proposal. And let's say invoice design, because that might give us more of what we're looking for. So something along the lines of either this, right? You see has the two-tone with the logo on the side like that, or close, or something like this. So we can get inspiration from what we're building here. Come on, you can close. Let me see if I can escape. Yes, I can escape. I can escape. Let's see here. Or you could build something like that. And let's do something a little bit more interesting. Okay, cool. So we can get inspiration from this, right? This is a very interesting one. So we're going to say save image. All right. Okay, so we were just interrupted. My Chrome browser quit. All of a sudden, I don't know what's going on there. And now it looks like I'm freezing, but hopefully you can hear me okay. Let me go ahead and share my screen again just so we can jump right in. We're almost done here. Please design the PDF like this, right? We can upload an image. Go to our downloads. Let's find that image. We're going to say, please design the PDF layout like this, please. But use the colors from the theme instead. So now it's going to update that PDF, and we're going to get something very similar to what we're looking at here, right? So right now it's going to update that, and that's the flexibility of creating custom HTML PDFs that will make it look really pretty and professional when you send it out. And it won't look like it's coming from a standard CRM, right? Okay. It is working. Let's see here. Clear the clutter. Clear the clutter. Here we go. There we go. So hopefully it doesn't quit on us again, guys. But if it does, don't worry, we got it covered. And by the way, guys, we're still in implementation. And like I said, this is the part that takes the longest amount of time just to get things just right. Okay, it's update. Okay, I'll completely redesign the PDF layout to match the structure of the invoice design you provided while adapting it to your agency's ocean deep theme colors. The new layout is a full bleed dark header block with your logo and agency info, the split column design for the line items, a dark column for item descriptions, and the right column for pricing. The thank you for your business accented banner at the bottom. You can preview it by clicking Generate PDF. All right, so guys, let's check it out. Let's go to our new browser here. Go into settings. Okay, so everything's already there. So it saves it, right? It persists. Let's go ahead and fill all this out. Let's go to fill this out. We're going to say test. We're going to say, we're actually just going to click on one of these items. SEO optimization. Hosting and maintenance. And we have custom web design. Okay, so look at that. Right now it's adjusting to our payment schedule, right? Our payment schedule is 50/50. So 2,500 is the main thing, right? And so this is the payment description and everything. So everything now looks good and it's working well. Let's take a look at what this PDF looks like. I'm very excited. Guys, look at that. We actually uploaded an inspiration for the PDF that we wanted it to look like, and it did it just like that, right? Of course, you'd update your logo so it can fit in better, maybe use a lighter version of the logo so it fits very nicely there. The proposal, we have all this here set up here. Everything's looking really nice and columnized, and it says, thank you for your business. So this is a very customized proposal now, right? It looks like we might be able to just kind of like compress it a little bit more so it can fit the most amount of information on one page. Let's go ahead and tell our AI Studio to do that. Can we compress the PDF content a little bit more so that way most of the content can fit on just one page? However, don't make it feel too compacted. Just give it a little bit of breathing room so that way it flows nicely. we send it out. Now you guys remember what it looked like, right? It looks like this, right? Really spaced out, right? Big gap right here, big white space. The goal is to be able to reduce this just ever so slightly so everything can kind of fit together, right? So, but you see it's using our colors, it's using the same layout as that image that we sent and said, hey, this is your inspiration for how to create the proposal look, right? And we just got that off the internet, something we liked. So like I said, anything is possible with AI. Your only limit is your imagination. And by using the framework of Cupid, you're able to structure your vision into reality. And you'll love even the very first draft that came out. And that's why I call it Cupid, because you fall in love. And that was my spiel today. I've adjusted the spacing and sizing within the PDF to compress it slightly by reducing some of the internal padding. Fantastic. In the margins. Okay, great. So let's go ahead and refresh. Make sure our settings are still there with our logo. Actually, do I have a logo that would work better? MMP logo. This is a light mark. Yeah, that's a light mark. Here's a light mark. We'll use this. Now that we know where it's going to go against, we're going to go ahead and fill this out. Boom, boom, boom. Now these are mock, what do you call it? Products, right? But you can set up preset products if you wanted to, or you can actually connect it to your CRM so that way it can actually pull your real products, okay? This time we're going to do brand identity, right? And we'll also need hosting. So we'll put in hosting there. Terms look good, right? And let's generate the PDF. And look at that, guys. It's more compressed. Everything's more together and aligns very nicely on one page. Perfect. So, and if you wanted to, you can tighten this part up a little bit, like say, hey, can you tighten up the address part, right? So with that, guys, all right, so it looks like the Chrome browser loves to quit on me, but that's okay. We're almost done here. Let's go ahead and share my screen again. We can actually put it in so that way we can say, hey, don't show this builder if it's not inside HighLevel, right? If the headers are not showing HighLevel. But let's see if we can make it easier, right? Let's go now to our AR demo. We're going to go to settings. We're going to go to, let's see here, preferences management hub. Let's see, no, we don't want that. Where is our custom menu links? It may just be within our main agency. I'm just double checking here. Import data, custom objects. Nope, 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 nope. It may just be within our main agency view. So you go to settings, and we do have custom menu links. Here we go, right here. So within your agency view, you have custom menu links. We can create a new menu link. We're going to call it CRM. See if there's any icon for it. Paper. We'll do that. Or we could do money sign, right? Because it's a quote. We're going to call it proposal builder. And here's the URL. Open link within the window. And it's going to be within my AI demo sub account. Okay, we don't need an agency, and it's going to be everybody visible, and we're going to click save. Okay, so now if we go back to our AI demo, we should now see Proposal Builder. We click on that, and we have Proposal Builder right within our AI Studio here. So literally, we can do the same thing now and build out our proposal, right? Using all the details that we need, and we could generate the PDF just like that. And that's pretty much it, guys. So today we built a custom proposal builder with an AI Studio. The way that we like it, we even built out the PDF engine and customized the PDF to look really nice based off an inspiration image. And we customize it so that way our logo and everything shows up there as well. And on top of that, what we did was we actually integrated it within our menu links here. So now we have Proposal Builder here. So all you have to do now is when you need a new proposal, you just go to Proposal Builder and you enter the information there, generate the PDF. And you should also, if you wanted to, you can even design it to send off to the client as well, right from AI Studio. So guys, again, anything's possible with an AI Studio. You just got to put your mind to it. I'm here to support you with that. Again, follow the framework of Cupid, which is consulting, planning, implementation, and deployment. And we did all of that today in one go. Well, a few goes after the Chrome quit on us a little bit of times, but hopefully in the recording they came out smooth. And guys, if you have any questions, type in the word framework in the bottom in the comments just so I can know you got this far. And I'd love to see you guys tomorrow. We're going to be building another 49 days on an app once a day as part of the 100-day AI Build Challenge. And today was day 50. Again, my name is Savion. I'm an AI consultant, managed marketing partners. Thanks again for so much for joining us today. And have a wonderful rest of your day and take care.